This is the first in a series of episodes, so buckle up. Welcome to another DragonLance Saga episode. My name is Adam, and today we're going to talk about Krynnspace. I'd like to take a moment and thank the members of this channel and invite you to consider becoming a member by visiting the link in the description below. You can even pick up DragonLance gaming materials using my affiliate link. I'm referencing the SJR7 Krynnspace Spelljammer accessory for this information. If I misspeak or leave anything out, please leave a comment below. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons has had the idea of a multiverse from the beginning. This multiverse is referenced in the Players Handbook Appendix 4, The Known Planes of Existence. It is explained that there are an infinite number of parallel universes and planes of existence, and that all of these worlds coexist. This is ultimately up to the referee whether it is explored or even addressed, but when TSR had finished writing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition, and already had 3 fleshed out worlds under its belt in the form of the campaign worlds of Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, and Dragonlance, one author brought up an inspired idea in order to connect them all through Dungeons & Dragons in space. It was 1988. At Augie's, a local bar in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, where TSR research and development managers James Ward and Warren Spector took the designers out for an afternoon-long brainstorming session with the goal of planning TSR's box sets for the next year. Time of the Dragon, a box set exploring the continent of Talados for Dragonlance, and Spelljammer came out of the meeting. Spelljammer was Jeff Grubb's brainchild, and it was up to him to flesh out. Now ultimately, Spelljammer would give way to campaigns like Planescape, which defined the multiverse even more, but until then, it was now possible to travel from Krynn, Oerth, and Toril with the same characters, and it was all accomplished through this orthogonal way of traversing space. This naturally left some issues to address, like if this is a shared multiverse, why is each world so different without a unified cosmology? Though Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition addresses this by stripping away campaign differences in favor of homogeneity, Jeff Grubb contained each world within their own sphere, where the laws and campaign quirks had full dominion. Krynnspace is different from the other spheres because it is the gods who take the primary role in shaping the sphere's destiny rather than the mortals who live within it. Aside from Krynn itself, most of the planets are named after gods. The star portals are what form the constellations. Krynnspace is approximately 8,000 million miles in diameter. Its shell appears as a sparkling disk, which is impenetrable. Outside each campaign world's sphere is the deadly phlogiston. This is the infinite expanse of multicolored gas that the spheres drift through. It can also be understood as a transitive plane. The way I see it is that the phlogiston is the universe and the spheres are solar systems. This is an oversimplification of a convoluted science fiction fantasy creation, but it works for me. Now, inside each sphere is wild space. Wild space is not the flammable gas of the phlogiston, rather it's much closer to our actual space. Now, the spheres do have mystically appearing openings, which resemble circles edged in silver blue that vary in size from a single yard to a half a mile across. These openings are enchanted, preventing the phlogiston from entering the sphere. But they do allow life to pass through. It is believed that these openings are controlled by the gods themselves, allowing some to enter to test the denizens of Krynn and expose them to dissimilar societies and races. This is how we see the Illithids in Talados. Remember, the Time of the Dragon box set was created at the same time, and Drow in southern Ergoth from the DLS4 Wild Elves accessory. Stars as seen from the inside of the sphere are actually small portals to the quasi-elemental plane of radiance. They cannot be seen from the outside of the sphere, and though they make up the constellations of the gods of Krynn, they cannot be used as a portal into their plane. The stars are able to actually move, disappear, or reappear based on the god's activity. Krynnspace is also decidedly cooler than other spheres. This is believed to be caused by the billowy, nearly transparent clouds, otherwise known as the clouds of freezing vapor. These are created by the gods to conceal their machinations on Krynn. Now, these clouds may be between 1 to 100 miles thick, and they're also known to be seen on planets and bodies furthest from the sun, specifically Nesmith and the Stellar Islands. The clouds seem to dance and flicker with particles of white, pale yellow, and azure. They actually mesmerize those who travel through them. Direct exposure to a cloud will freeze a mortal instantly. There are a few societies that dwell in the wild space of Krynn, one of which are the Lakshu. These tall, thin, green-haired Amazon Fae are strong, beautiful, and deadly. They are known to be approximately 6 of them in total. When they take to land, they're often mistaken as Irda. Another group is the Rygar. These are a legendary race of beautiful men and women. They are fewer in number than the Lakshu, but are equally influential. Both societies originated outside of Krynnspace. Many actually warn the people of Krynn, and reorcs particularly, about threats entering the sphere. At the center of the sphere is the sun. It is by all regards the same as our sun, save that it's inhabited by Efreet and Hellions, though no Spelljammer has been closer than 1 million miles from its surface and survived its immense heat. Sirion is the closest planet to the sun and is considered an inert fire body. Though it has no moons, it does have ports open to all. Reorx is the second planet from the sun and is an earth body. It has 1 moon which can sustain life, and the planet has many ports. Krynn is the third rock from the sun and features only 2 ports, one in both Palanthus and Ansalon and the Imperial City in Taladas. Krynn has 3 moons, Nuitary, Lunitary, and Solinary. Chislev is the 4th planet, classed as a live world by Xiaolung from Toril. It is sparsely populated and covered in dense jungles. Zivelin is the 5th planet and the largest in the system. Ironically, it hosts the smallest population as well. It is an air body that hosts large continent-sized floating boulders that spin through the atmosphere. Nesmith is known as the Vanishing Planet. Its orbit takes it behind black clouds, seeming to disappear, then reappear elsewhere in space. In truth, the planet is populated by the Vodianoi, which are aquatic umber hulks, Neogi, Treants, and giant reptiles. The Stellar Islands are the 7th world from the sun. It consists of 5 oases asteroids, each between 100 to 400 miles across. They're connected by glowing ribbons. These are enchanted walkways constructed by a gnomish wizard decades ago. The islands are populated by generally good species which interact and celebrate with each other. Long-term living grants incredible health effects. Black clouds are mysterious gaseous clouds that only the light from a star can penetrate. They generate incredible heat and have been the doom to many unknowing Spelljammer ships. It is in fact the essence of evil beings who have died in wild space, which are then drawn to and collected in the black clouds. This is meant to be a primer to Krynnspace. I will return to this topic to explore the nature of the gods of Krynn, different organizations, and even the creatures of Krynnspace in separate episodes. Now, if you think this is the most dramatic introduction to Dragonlance, I'd like to remind you of the 5th Age and the Saga system. Interestingly enough, it was Gene Rabe who'd end up authoring this Krynnspace supplement and the new 5th Age Dragonlance trilogy, Dragons of a New Age. But that is all the time I have to talk about Krynnspace. Have you played Spelljammer before? Are you familiar with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons multiverse? And if you could travel to one planet in Krynnspace, which would it be and why? Leave a comment below. I'd like to take a moment and remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell to get notified about upcoming videos, and click the like button. This all goes to help other Dragonlance fans learn about this channel and its content. This channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the DragonLance Saga, and I hope you'll join me in the celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with DragonLance Saga, and until next time, remember, a sphere is merely something to contain worlds, asteroids, and creatures. But ask yourself, what contains spheres?